Well, it's official. Russia finally announced it. We are going to be talking about it. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Also, for all of those watching out there, if you're not already following me on all socials, you need to be. Go check down in the description below and follow me on all socials. Also, join the free Discord if you want to make a ton of money this cycle. Now, with all of that in mind, let's dive on in and let's talk about a few things. So let's go back to April of 2023, where we saw Russia moving forward with crypto international settlement experiment. For the longest time, ever since we announced the sanctions against Russia back in March of 2022, it's crazy that it was well over 2 years now. But ever since, what we have been witnessing is Russia and the BRICS moving extremely fast against the US dollar, against the US based financial system, and really trying to push a new financial paradigm. Now, the big thing about this is what they are utilizing. A lot of this is focused on crypto, and we continue to see the anti-crypto politicians still pushing the fact that, oh, Russia is evading sanctions with crypto, which it's not as easy as they make it out to be. But the number one thing to focus on here is the digital asset and crypto shift. What we are really witnessing here is a significant change in finance. Instead of utilizing a US dominated financial network, they're now finding other ways around it. They're trying to pivot. And this is something that I have been following for so long because I keep telling all of you out there, what we are really witnessing here is not the demise of the US dollar. We're not seeing the demise of the US financial system either. What we are witnessing is the demise of the old financial system so that the new financial system can finally be ushered in. All of these nations are done utilizing the US dollar. They're done utilizing a US dominated financial system as well because it doesn't benefit them at all. So now we're starting to see a focus on crypto, on digital assets, and even on central bank digital currencies. 93% of central banks are literally experimenting with central bank digital currencies, yet so many people are still focused on the US dollar. Newsflash, it's not about the US dollar. It's about the global financial system as a whole. It's all undergoing a substantial change. Now, if we go over here to June 7th, this is just a few months after they were moving with crypto, Russia's Rosbank to start using crypto for cross-border payments. This was also another big deal that everyone was really kind of saying, like, that's it. They're utilizing crypto. It's the end of the dollar. And then even more recently, in July of this year, July 25th, Russia eyes crypto payments to tackle trade delays. Now, as we continue to start to see a big shift happening around crypto and a focus on crypto, I also do think that this is where the US finally starts to take crypto seriously and starts to push forward with it. Now, we know that crypto has become a political weapon. We know that it's become a very hot topic around politics as well. I think that this is only going to continue to move and move and move in a big way towards finally accepting that crypto is not just a small industry. It is going to be the industry that truly ushers in a completely new technological innovation around finance as a whole. Now, building on top of this, we have Russia, another Russia announcement. This is despite EU crypto sanctions, Russians are still using digital currencies. And obviously, yes, they're going to continue to utilize and move money around utilizing digital currencies because not only is it extremely efficient, but yeah, they are trying to evade sanctions. They're trying to, separate themselves from the US because, as I've mentioned, the US has weaponized the dollar for so long, and these nations are just done with it. I've also brought up the fact that, if we go back to Libya and Gaddafi pushing for a gold-backed currency, that was the big thing. That was the big problem. That's why, as we go back to that time, there was so much conflict. We had to protect the US dollar. The problem now is that, BRICS are so big, and BRICS continues to expand and expand and expand just beyond the BRICS nations. And it's now becoming a big problem for the US because what are we going to do? We're not just going to, go out and say, all right, well, now we have to start a full-on war against all these BRICS nations. No, we're not going to do that. Now we have to pivot. And that's why we're starting to see the, Fed officials, and we're now starting to see these politicians really pushing the fact that, like, we could have a US stablecoin. a US dominated stablecoin will help us grow and, help the dollar. In all actuality, what we are going to see is a US CBDC. That's what a stablecoin is. A stablecoin is a government issued stablecoin. That's all it is. That's what a CBDC is. So when they say stablecoin and they say, oh, we're going to ban a CBDC, they're not banning anything. They're banning the term CBDC and they're ushering in a stablecoin so that the typical retail investor can say, oh, wow, I'm actually very happy about this. CBDCs are going to happen. That's where we start to see the new system really kind of rolling out, because now all of these nations, they don't have to align with what the US is doing. They have their own CBDC. They have their own stablecoin that is pegged to their currency. And this is what's happening around the world. Now, also, we have over here in July 26th, Chinese firm boasts of using Tether stablecoin to skirt Russian sanctions. Now, I find this very interesting because, one, it's putting a spotlight on Tether in a bad way. We know that Ripple is launching their stablecoin very, very soon, Q3, Q4 possibly. I find this very funny, but also the fact that stablecoins are now being utilized in a big way, even around sanction, evasion, and stuff like that. This is only going to continue to heighten. Listen, we're going to start hearing all of these talks about crypto is bad around sanctions. Maybe not so much now because of, it being such a big political weapon, but we go back to 2023, leading up to 2024, even the first half of 2024, all we've been hearing is that stablecoins and crypto are utilized for illegal activity, for this, for that. It's so funny because even if you look at fiat currencies, what has fiat currencies been utilized for years? And I'm talking decades and decades. It's been utilized for illegal activity. No matter what you're looking at, there's going to be illegal activity. When it comes to sanction evasion, this is becoming a big topic, and it's only emphasizing the need for crypto regulations, which I do think this is what we're really kind of building up to. And then once we have this space regulated, that's when we start to see the whole new system really kind of ushering forward and rolling out, which, by the way, it's already kind of happening. And you know what's funny about this is, talking about regulations, July 23rd, Russia considers greenlighting crypto for international payments. This was another big deal because as we really look at what's going on here, crypto is becoming such a big topic to push forward around, ushering back against the dollar and really kind of ushering us into a new age of finance where we don't have to rely on one nation like the US. This is taking a lot of power from the US, obviously, which they don't like, which is why we were starting to see such a big conflict happening around Russia and the US. But if we actually look down here, right, this is a need for businesses, especially in cases involving sanction mechanisms, when they need to enter the international market. And it can't always be resolved through standard methods, which is why they're now looking at crypto. They're now looking at stablecoins. They're now looking at, this digital asset space. And we have down here that, in fact, the U.S. is closely monitoring Russia's usage of crypto to sidestep sanctions, with the U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen recently testifying in front of the House Financial Services Committee. We are very attentive to the Russian use of cryptocurrencies and stablecoins. We don't think it's a very substantial thing that Russia is doing, but as our sanctions bite more and more, it becomes a concern. So they're literally saying, like, all right, as we do start to see sanctions playing a bigger and bigger role, we're now going to start to see Russia really pushing the crypto and digital asset usage. As this starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger, it's going to be so much to the point where they can't ignore it anymore. And now with this Russia races to legalize crypto as sanctions weigh on companies, this is the nail in the coffin. We now have confirmation that Russia has approved crypto for international payments. This was just announced, and this is a very big deal. This is the nail in the coffin. Why? Well, just the other day, we have BRICS officially announced its financial system similar to SWIFT. If we look at the summarization of this, we have the BRICS alliance aims to bypass the Western SWIFT system by creating its own financial messaging mechanism. This new system will facilitate cross-border transactions using local currencies, reducing reliance on the US dollar, and potentially ending its global dominance. Russia confirmed that BRICS plans to establish this alternative, emphasizing its role in promoting de-dollarization. The new system will be based on state-owned banks, ensuring compatibility with existing financial infrastructures and prioritizing high security and data protection. Now, at the time that we were looking at that, it's like, all right, well, if we look back in time, we know that they were moving forward with crypto. Specifically, this was a settlement experiment back in 2023. Then we have start using crypto for cross-border payments. Then outside of that, we have, eyeing crypto payments to tackle trade delays. They're still utilizing crypto to evade sanctions. Then we have stablecoin usage just recently in July. Then we have considers greenlighting crypto. And now we see them pushing back against SWIFT and the US dollar in a heavy way. And then we finally get approval for crypto for international payments. So Russia's new system, this whole system that the BRICS are trying to push, this is all based on crypto. It's a crypto financial system essentially that they're pushing, and this is a very big deal because it confirms everything that we have been talking about for so long around how, you know, we're starting to see this completely new shift towards digital currencies and digital assets and crypto itself. We have Russia has passed a bill allowing businesses to use cryptocurrencies for international trade, aiming to bypass Western sanctions. The legislation approved by the State Duma permits the use of digital currencies for cross-border transactions, marking a significant shift in Russia's stance on cryptocurrencies. The move is seen as a response to increasing Western sanctions and aims to facilitate international trade using cryptocurrencies. The law is expected to take effect by September 1st of this year and is part of a broader effort to regulate the cryptocurrency market in Russia. This development has sparked discussions about the potential implications for global finance and the broader trend of de-dollarization. Now, let's actually think about this, right? What is this going to do for the US? What is this going to do for crypto regulatory moves going forward? Well, now that Russia is doing this, the US must act fast. We are now going to start to see major regulatory shifts happening in the US. We are now going to start to see crypto being greenlighted in the US. And if you don't believe me, that's okay. You don't have to. This is a very big deal. This is going to put so much pressure on the US because now with Mika, now with Russia, there's no time to sit back and just wait this out. No, they need to act now. And what's crazier about all of this is XRP in Russia, or XRP and Ripple. So for the longest time, everyone was like, Russia's not going to utilize Ripple. It's a US-based company. That's totally fine. Recently, Smoke Dog posted this, Bank of Russia, June 2024 XRP. Now, this was a translated one by Kyle as well. We have digitization of payments and innovation in the payment market analytic report by Moscow. By the Central Bank of Russian Federation mentions XRP specifically June 5th, 2024. Translation of paragraph, we have blockchain and other DLT have become the foundation of many P2P payment systems and cryptocurrencies. These technologies emerged in 2008 to 2009, proposing the abandonment of traditional financial intermediaries in favor of direct transactions within global blockchain networks. Despite initial optimism, attempts to apply blockchain-based solutions in the payment industry have faced challenges, ensuring the confidentiality of payment information in a distributed ledger and the lack of comprehensive mechanisms for resolving disputes have hindered widespread adoption. However, several properties of DLT, such as distributed processing, the ability to facilitate transactions between any network participants, and data integrity, immutability, highlights its potential to enhance payment efficiency, especially for cross-border payments. In 2013, Ripple began developing a mechanism for cross-border transfers based on DLT technology. The transferred amount is converted into internal utility tokens XRP, which are instantly transferred via Ripple's internal DLT network to a participant in the recipient's country. The XRP tokens are then converted into the recipient's currency, and the funds are transferred through the local payment infrastructure. For the system to function, agreements with banks in various countries to connect to the Ripple network and perform conversions between XRP tokens and local currencies were necessary. As of 2023, more than 100 banks and dozens of payment companies have joined this network, enabling transfers with conversions for 120 currency pairs. Based on similar solutions, several projects have been implemented for both mass retail transfers, e.g. remittances for migrant workers, and for fast, efficient payments under regulations such as Regulation EU 260/2012, Target 2 User Detailed Function or Functional Specifications version R 2023 June, and the resolution of the Board of Directors of the U.S. Federal Reserve dated June 27th, 2022. And this is what the actual report looks like. Obviously, it's not going to be translated, but this is the full translated view from, of course, Kyle. And what's crazier about all of this is if we go back in time a little bit, back in, I believe it was 2018. Yeah, it was 2018. Here we have In the first half of 2018, the Bank of Russia's Novosibirsk Innovative Laboratory conducted research on testing the possibility of cross-border settlements using the Ripple platform. The system technology assumed that the settlement participants had special accounts opened in national payment systems and addresses in the Ripple network. Reflections of operations in national payment systems could be performed both after each transfer and at the end of the trading day or at certain intervals. And if we actually look at this, right, we could see that use for XRP transfers or equivalents of fiat currencies issued by each participant, the national bank, determination of a mechanism for reconciling balances between the accounts of Ripple participants and the national payment system, use of embedded cryptographic solutions on the Ripple network, development of a procedure for determining cross rates for the internal currency of Ripple XRP when deciding to use XRP in interstate settlements, maintaining correspondence directories between the addresses of the accounts of Ripple network participants and the accounts of the banks they serve in national payment systems. So this was proof that the Bank of Russia project around cross-border transfers, Ripple and XRP were both utilized here. They were trialed around this, which is insane to say the least. Now, obviously, we're not trying to say that Ripple and XRP are being utilized by Russia now to evade sanctions, because that would just be ridiculous, but they could utilize XRP and the XRP ledger. Like, that's still a possibility. And they could technically, because again, everyone's focused on what Ripple is doing, they could technically use the information that they have from trialing what Ripple did, have in 2018. They could have utilized this information to build their own mechanism using XRP still. Because remember, Ripple does not control XRP. XRP is not Ripple. Ripple just utilizes XRP and the XRP ledger. XRP and the XRP ledger is not centralized. Russia could be utilizing this. Everyone that's saying like, oh no, Russia's not utilizing XRP or the XRP, it's ridiculous. They're not utilizing Ripple payments, I can tell you that right now, to evade sanctions, but they can utilize the XRP ledger and XRP, or they could have even built something with the XRP ledger and XRP. It's not impossible to see this. Now, do I believe that that's what's going on here? Not exactly, but it is still possible. But now we are starting to see utilizing cryptocurrencies for trade. XRP could be utilized here. It's not impossible to see this. But this is pretty crazy. I think that this is definitely going to put a lot of pressure on the US. I think that we're now going to start to see a regulatory shift happen. I think that there's going to be a race towards regulatory clarity for crypto as well. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, though. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you guys did enjoy this video, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.